find the probability that a number selected at random from 40 to 50 is a prime number. Now, this is our range of values. We have 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. When you count this number, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The total numbers here are 11. Now, what is probability? Probability simply is the ratio of favorable outcome over the possible outcome. The favorable outcome in this case is going to be numbers that are prime, all divided by the possible outcome or the total outcome. The total here we have 11 numbers. But when you look closely at this, we have 41, 43, and 47 as the only prime numbers within these numbers given here. So the probability that a number selected from 40 to 50 at random will be a prime is going to be equal to the number of favorable outcome, which is 3 in this case because only 3 numbers are prime. Then we'll divide it by the total number that we have here, which is 11, giving us 3 over 11 as the correct option, corresponding with option A. A man kept 6 black, 5 brown, and 7 purple shirts in a drawer. What is the probability of him picking a purple shirt with his eyes closed? This is JAMB question 1986. Here are the options provided. First of all, we want to get the number of purple shirts that he have. Number of purple shirts, that's equal to 7. Then the total number of shirts, we have, that is 6 plus 5 brown plus 7 purple, that is equal to 18 shirts. Now, for us to get the probability of him picking a purple shirt with his eyes closed, that probability of picking a purple shirt is equal to the favorable outcome here is 7, while the total outcome is 18. So the probability of picking a purple shirt is going to be 7 over 18. That corresponds with option C. Find the median of the numbers 89, 141, 130, 161, 120, 131, 131, 100, 108, and 119. Again, this is the JAMB question for 1986, question number 46. And these are the options provided. Now, median again is the middle number in a given distribution. If it is an odd number distribution like we had previously, all you need to do is to arrange them in either ascending or descending order and pick the middle number. But in a situation where you have an even number distribution like we do here, there are altogether 10 numbers in this distribution. So what you need to do is to first of all arrange them in their order, then you note the middle numbers. Arranging them in ascending order, we have 89, 100, 108, 119, 120, we have 130, 131, again we have 131 because they appear twice, next 141, and lastly 161. So when you look at this number, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the middle number here are 2. That is 120 and 130. That is where we get our median from. So median for this distribution will be equal to 120 plus 130 divided by 2. That's equal to 250 over 2, giving us 125. So the median for this distribution is equal to 125, corresponding with option B. The table below gives the scores of a group of students in a mathematics test. Here are the scores from 1 to 8 and their corresponding frequencies. The question is, if the mode is M and the number of students who scored 4 or less is S, what is S, M? This is JAMB question for 1986, question number 50. So from this, we are told that the mode is M. So our M will be equal to, mode is the most occurring number in a given distribution. And when you look at this frequency row, the highest value we have here is 14, corresponding with number 4. So the number of students that score 4 are 14 in number, meaning mode here is equal to 4. And for S, we are told S represents the number of students who scored 4 or less in that mathematics test. What that makes is that we are going to sum the number of students that scored 4, 3, 2, and 1. That is what it means to sum the number of students who scored 4 or less. So the number of students that scored 4 exactly here, we have 14. The number of students that scored 3, we have 7. The number of those that scored 2, we have 4. While those that scored 1, we have 2. When we sum this up, 14 plus 7, we have 21. 21 plus 4, we have 25. 25 plus 2, we have 27. S, M equal to, our S was found to be 27, while our M was found to be 4, meaning that SM is equal to 27, 4. That corresponds with option A, which is 27, 4. Of the 900 students admitted in a university in 1979, the following was the distribution by states. Anambra is 185, Imo 135, Kaduna 90, Kwara 110, Ondo 155, Oyo 225. The question is, in a pie chart drawn to represent this distribution, the angle subtended at the center by Anambra is, and then these are the options. These are the options. It's a JAMB question 1986, question number 45. Now, when a data like this is given, for us to get a pie chart representing that distribution, the first thing we need to do in each case is to get the sectorial angle, otherwise known as the subtended angle, before we can draw a pie chart for that. And how is that done? For each of the states we have here, Anambra, Imo, Kaduna, Kwara, Ondo, and Oyo, we are going to pick their respective values. We'll divide it by the total number, which is 900. Then we'll multiply it by 360. Since the pie chart is going to be in a form of circle, and the circle is 360 degrees. So we are not going to go through all of that since we are specifically asked for one state only. We are going to do the sectorial angle for Anambra. And to do that, for Anambra we have 185. We are going to divide it by 900. Then we'll multiply it by 360 degrees. Whatever value we get from this will be the subtended angle for Anambra, and this is equal to 185 multiplied by 360. We have 66,600. Dividing this by 900, the result is 74 degrees, corresponding with option C. If M represents the median and D the mode of the measurements, 5, 9, 3, 5, 8, the MD is what? Now, the first thing we need to do is to rearrange these numbers in ascending order. So we'll begin with 3, next is 5, next is 5, next is 8, and the last one is 9. Now, what is median and what is mode? Median is simply the middle number in any given distribution. For instance, if that distribution is an odd number distribution like we have here, there are 5 numbers here in this distribution, so the middle number serves as our median. Whereas if it is an even number distribution where you have numbers like 4, 6, 8, etc., you are going to pick the 2 middle number, then you divide by 2. But since the distribution we have here is an odd number distribution, 5 here is our median. So M is equal to 5. And D we are given here as mode. What is mode of a given distribution? Mode simply is the most occurring number in a distribution. So when you look at this distribution, this measurement 3, 5, 5, 8, 9, the most occurring number here is 5. So D is also equal to 5. From that, it implies that M, D is equal to 5, 5, corresponding with option D. Find the reciprocal of 2/3 divided by 1/2 plus 1/3. That's JAMB question 1986, number 5, with these options. So we have 2/3 divided by 1/2 plus 1/3. So to find the reciprocal here implies dividing the whole of this by 1. But let's simplify this fraction further before we bring in the reciprocal of it. What we have here is 2 over 3 divided by the LCM of these fractions in the denominator is 6. 6 divided by 2, we have 3. 3 times 1, we have 3. Plus 6 divided by 3, we have 2. 2 times this 1, we have 2. That's equal to 2 over 3 divided by 3 plus 2, we have 5, divided by 6. That's equal to 2 divided by 3. We are dividing this by 5 over 6. We are going to reciprocate this by changing this division sign to multiplication, and that is 2 over 3 multiplied by 6 over 5. 2 times 6, we have 12, divided by 3 times 5, we have 15. What is common between this 12 and 15 is 3. 3 can enter here and give us 4. 3 can enter here 5 times. So we have 4 over 5. That is a simplification of this fraction. But remember that we are asked to find the reciprocal of it. So reciprocating this now, we are going to have 1 divided by 4 over 5. That is, we have 1 divided by 4 over 5. And reciprocating this, implying that we change this to multiplication sign. That is 1 multiplied by, at this point, 5 goes up while 4 comes down. So we have 5 over 4. Finally, 1 times 5 over 4 gives us 5 over 4 as our answer. And this corresponds with option B. Convert 241 in base 5 to base 8. This JAMB question 1987 number 1. Whenever you are asked to convert numbers from one base to another other than base 10, the first thing we need to do here is to first convert this number in base 5 to a number in base 10. Thereafter, we'll convert that number in base 10 back to the required base. This is because we can't convert numbers from other bases directly. For instance, number from base 5 to 8, number from base 8 to base 9 directly. We have to first convert it to base 10. Then whatever answer we get in base 10, we'll now convert it back to that required base. What that means is that this 241, we are going to use successive multiplication as a method of converting this to base 10. But before then, we assign these powers to that 241. And this is equal to 2 multiplied by this base, which is 5, raised to the power of 2 here, plus 4 times 5, raised to the power of 1, plus 1 times 5, raised to the power of 0. This is equal to 2 times 5 squared, we have 25, plus 4 times 5 raised to the power 1 is 5, plus 1 times 5 raised to the power of 0 is 1. This is equal to 2 times 25, we have 50, 4 times 5, we have 20, and 1 times 1, we have 1. 50 plus 20 plus 1, we have 71. This is now a number in base 10. Now that we have converted 241 in base 5 to base 10. The next thing is to convert this base 10 number to the required base, which is base 8. And to do that, we are going to divide this 71 in base 10 successively. So we are now going to use successive division. That is 71 divided by 8, and we'll be keeping track of their remainders in each step. 71 divided by 8, we will have 8 remainder 7. 8 again divided by 8, we will have 1 remainder 0. 1 divided by 8, we have 0 remainder 1. So arranging them from the last to the first, we have 1 0 7. That is now in base 8. That implies that 241, which is a number in base 5, is equal to 107 in base 8. And this answer here corresponds with option B. Find the 11th term of the progression 4, 8, 16. And this continues. It's a JAMB question 1987 number 30 with these options. So when you look closely at this question, this is a question from geometric progression. So we are going to consider first term and common ratio instead of first term and common difference that we have when dealing with arithmetic progression. So our first term here, which is represented by letter A, is equal to 4. And our common ratio R is equal to 2. That is 8 divided by this 4, we have 2. 16 divided by 8, we have 2. And that is how it continues. The next one is going to be 32. That is how geometric progression works. So since we are asked to find the 11th term, generally when finding geometric progression, Tn, that is the n term of a geometric progression, is given by AR raised to power n minus 1. Substituting the value of n here, we are going to have T11, which is the 11th term, equal to A here is 4. We'll multiply this by R, which is equal to 2. We'll raise it to the power of n here is 11 minus 1. So T11 will be equal to 4 multiplied by 2 raised to the power of 11 minus 1, we have 10. And from indices, 4 here can be rewritten as 2 raised to the power of 2 multiplied by 2 raised to the power of 10. When you have equal bases in indices, we are expected to add their powers. So we are going to have 2 raised to the power of 2 plus 10. And that gives us 2 raised to the power of 12. And this answer corresponds with option B. Given a regular hexagon, calculate each interior angle of the hexagon. This is a JAMB question, and given a regular hexagon, calculate each interior angle of the hexagon. This is a JAMB question, and these are the options provided. Generally, when you hear about a regular polygon, it is a polygon having all the sides and angles equal. That is, all the sides of that polygon are equal and all the angles are equal. Coming down to this question where we have a regular hexagon. A hexagon generally is a polygon with 6 sides and 6 angles. So the angles of this hexagon are all equal. So let's begin. For us to calculate the interior angle, to calculate each interior angle of the hexagon, first of all we need to know the sum of interior angle of this hexagon. So to calculate the sum of interior angle, we use this formula 2n minus 4 multiplied by 90, which is right angle. Or we can use n minus 2 multiplied by 180. So that if we decide to use this one, our n in this case is equal to 6. That is n equal to 6, since a hexagon has 6 sides. So if we are using this formula, it becomes 2 multiplied by 6 minus 4. Then we multiply it by 90. That's equal to 12 minus 4. We multiply the outcome by 90. And 12 minus 4 is equal to 8. Multiplied by 90, we have 720. Similarly, if you are using this formula, it's going to be 6 minus 2 multiplied by 180. 6 minus 2, we have 4. 4 multiplied by 180, we have 720. That is sum of interior angles. Anytime you are asked to calculate sum of interior angles, you can either use this formula 2n minus 4 multiplied by 90 or n minus 2 multiplied by 180. Now, since we know the sum of all those 6 angles, and we are told that this angle, this hexagon for instance, in particular, is a regular hexagon, meaning all the angles are equal, what we will now do is that we'll come and pick the sum, which is 720, and divide it by 6. That is 720 divided by 6. We'll now have 120 degrees. So that option C here becomes our correct option. Three angles of a nonagon are equal, and the sum of 6 other angles is 1110. We have to calculate the size of one of the equal triangles. Now, a nonagon is a polygon with 9 sides. So nonagon has 9 sides, and by implication we have 9 angles as well. And we are told that 3 of those angles of a nonagon are equal, while the sum of the other 6 angles is 1110. So the first thing we need to do here is to calculate the sum of the interior angle of a nonagon. So for us to calculate sum of interior angle, we use the formula 2n minus 4 multiplied by 90 degrees. So since we are dealing with a nonagon here, we are going to have 2 times 9 minus 4. Then we multiply the outcome by 90. 2 times 9, we have 18. 18 minus 4. Then we multiply it by 90. 18 minus 4, we have 14. We multiply this by 90. And 14 times 90, we have 1260. So it means the sum of interior angle of a nonagon, a polygon with 9 sides, is equal to 1260. 260. And in this question, we are told that the sum of 6 of those angles of a nonagon is equal to 1110. So we are going to remove the 6 sides from this sum that we have here. From this, we are going to remove, for us to get the other 3 sides, since the sum of 6 other sides has been given to us already, we are going to have sum of 3 sides, sum of the 3 equal angles. Sum of the 3 equal angles will be equal to this sum of all the 9 angles, 1260, minus the sum of the other 6, which is 1110. 1110 degrees. When you subtract this, you have 150 degrees. That's the sum of the 3 equal angles. For us to get the angle of each of those 3 angles now, because that is what we are asked to find here, they said calculate the size of one of the equal triangles. So for us to do that, we'll come and divide this 150 degrees. 150 degrees divided by 3 will give us 50 degrees as angle of one of the equal angles of that nonagon. Right? So 50 degrees is the value of one of those 3 equal angles of that nonagon given in this question. And that corresponds with option D. A regular polygon of n sides has 160 degrees as the size of each interior angle. Find n. N here represents the number of sides that regular polygon has. So, since one of the interior angle has been given to us as 160 degrees, we have one interior angle is equal to 160 degrees. Remember that the sum of interior angle and exterior angle is equal to 180. That is sum of interior angle and exterior angle equal to 180 degrees. So if interior plus exterior angle is equal to 180 degrees and one interior angle has already been given to us as 160, it then implies that exterior angle for that regular polygon will be equal to 180 degrees minus 160 degrees. That's equal to 20 degrees. It means each of the exterior angle of that regular polygon is 20 degrees. And one other thing that we need to note again is that sum of exterior angles equal to 360 degrees. So if all the exterior angle of a polygon equals to 360 degrees and we have found one exterior angle to be 20 degrees here, what we need to do to get the number of sides is going to be n equal to the sum of the exterior angles, which is 360 degrees, divided by one exterior angle which has been found to be 20 degrees. So from this, we have that 360 divided by 20, we have 18, implying that that regular polygon that has each interior angle to be 160 degrees has 18 sides, corresponding with option A. Udo deposited 150 naira in the bank. At the end of 5 years, the simple interest on the principal was 55 naira. At what rate per annum was the interest paid? This is JAMB question 1986, number 9, with these options. So the formula for calculating simple interest, SI is equal to P times
divide by 100
R times T, where P is principal, R is rate per annum, and T is time. Well, looking at this question, I, which is our interest, is given there, which is 55 naira. The principal there is 150 naira that was deposited. Then our rate, R, is what we are asked to find, while time is given there as 5 years. So from this, we need to make R, which is our rate, as a subject of this formula. So we are going to have rate equal to 100I, that is 100 multiplying the simple interest, divided by PT. That's equal to 100 multiplied by the interest, which is 55, divided by the principal here is 150, multiplied by time, which is 5 years. 100 times 55, we have 5,500. Dividing it by 150 multiplying 5, we have 750. This is equal to 7 whole number 1/3%, corresponding with option B. So the rate at which Udo deposited 150 naira to yield an interest of 55 naira for 5 years is 7 whole number 1/3%. If x varies directly as y cubed and x equal to 2 when y is equal to 1, find x when y is equal to 5. This is a JAMB question 1986, number 16. Here are the options that are provided for us to pick from. So we are told that x varies directly as y cubed. So changing the proportionality sign to an equality sign, here we have x equal to ky cubed. We now introduce a constant where k is constant. And for us to get the value of k, which is a constant here, we will have to divide both sides by y cubed, such that k will be equal to x over y cube. We are told that when x is equal to 2, y is equal to 1. So x here is 2, while y is 1. So we raise it to the power of 3. Equal to 2 over 1 cube is still 1. 2 divided by 1, we have 2. So the equation connecting this variable therefore will be x equal to 2y cube. That is substituting 2, which is a value of k, in this equation. This is the equation connecting the variables. And now that we've arrived at the equation connecting the variables, we are asked to find the value of x when y is equal to 5. So we'll come back to this formula or this equation and substitute the value of y. X will be equal to 2 multiplied by y, we are told is 5. So we'll write 5 cube. X will be equal to 2 multiplied by 5 cube means 5 times 5 times 5 in 3 places. So 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 will give us 125. 125, now multiplying these two, we will have 250 as our answer. This is corresponding with option D. An arc of radius 6 cm is 8 cm long. Find the area of the sector. It's a JAMB question 1986, question number 38. Here are the options provided. So let's get to work. Now the formula for calculating area of a sector, is equal to theta over 360 multiplied by pi r squared. But when you look at this formula, the data provided for us cannot be substituted directly. The radius is given up there as 6 cm. Pi is a constant, 22/7, but at subtended angle theta is not known. So we are going to use length of arc formula to first of all get the unknown value of theta here before we can proceed to solve the area of this sector. So length of arc is given by this formula, theta over 360 multiplied by 2 pi r. Length of arc in that question has been given to us as 8 cm. That is, an arc of radius 6 cm is 8 cm long. That is the length of that arc. So coming down here, we will have 8 for the length of arc equal to theta over 360 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 22/7, then multiplied by 6, which is our radius. That implies here we have 8/1 equal to 2 times 22, we have 44. 44 times 6, we have 264. 264 times theta, we have 264 theta. Divide by 360 multiplied by 7, we have 2520. At this point, we will cross multiply such that we have 264 theta times 1, giving us 264 theta equal to 8 times 2520. That's equal to 264 theta equal to 20,160. At this point, we'll divide both sides by 264. So that we have 264 theta dividing 264 equal to 20,160 dividing 264. This 264 will cancel out this 64 and we are left with theta equal to 20,160 divided by 264. We are going to have 76.3636. Approximately this is 76 degrees. That's to the nearest degree. Now that we've gotten the value of theta, we can come back to this formula of area of a sector equal to theta over 360 times pi r square. So with this, we will now have theta has been found to be what? 76. So we have 76 divided by 360 multiplied by pi r square, which is 22 over 7 multiplied by 6 square. That is our radius. So we have this is equal to 76 multiplied by 22 multiplied by 36 divided by 360 times 7. We have 2,520. When you multiply 76 by 22 by 36, we have 60,192 divided by 2,520. When you divide 60,192 by 2,520, the result is 23.8857. To the nearest whole number, we have 24 centimeters. We are going to have these to square centimeter. That is 24 centimeters square as the area of this sector, whose radius is 6 centimeter and whose length of arc is 8 centimeter long. From this, we have 24 as our final answer, corresponding with option B. Here is the diagram that we have. The question that follows it says, in the diagram above, PQ is parallel to ST. That's PQ here. Is parallel to this line. And we are also told that RS is parallel to UV. When you look at this diagram, this is RS and is parallel to this line here, UV. We're also told that if PQR is equal to 35 and QRS is equal to 65, find STV. Now this is PQR, angle 35. Then angle 65 given to us is QRS. That is this angle, QRS, the angle that is subtended here. We have to find STV. STV is this angle. The angle here, let's label it X. So that is the angle we are going to find. So for us to do this, we are going to divide this into 2 such that the line is parallel to ST. Let's label this XZ. Now, with this 65 degree has been divided into 2. But that is not to say that this angle is equally divided into 2. No. However, if PQ is parallel to XZ that we have here, QR, and will serve as our transversal. It means if here is 35 degrees, here too will be 35 degrees. That is, we have QRX. That is QRX equal to 35 degrees. And what's the reason here? This angle is alternating with this angle. The next thing is, if here is 35 degrees, taking that away from 65 degrees, it means this angle here is 30 degrees. So it means XRX is 30 degrees. So with this 30 degrees, you have XRS equal to 30 degrees. That is gotten from subtracting this 35 degrees from 65 degrees, giving us 30 here. And again, if this line XZ is parallel to ST, RS here is serving as a transversal for this parallel line, meaning that this angle is equal to this angle. So from what we have here, if angle XRS is equal to 30, it means that RST, which is this angle, is also equal to 30 degrees. And when you look at this line, RS and UV here, they are parallel lines, and TS is a transversal for these two parallel lines. What that means is, if here is 30 degrees, it then means also that STV is going to be 30. That is alternate angles. First of all, RST here we said is equal to 30 degrees, alternating with this angle, and STV also is going to be equal to 30 degrees, alternate angle. So STV, as requested in this question, is equal to 30 degrees, implying that option A is a correct option for this question. In the figure above, PQT is an isosceles triangle. That is, this angle here, this triangle PQT is an isosceles triangle. PQ is equal to QT, and that is one feature or characteristic of an isosceles triangle. Two sides and two angles are equal. So PQ here is equal to QT. That is the reason for what you are seeing here. SRQ, that is SRQ, this angle here, is equal to 35 degrees. TPQ is equal to 20 degrees. That is this angle. TPQ is equal to 20 degrees. And PQR is a straight line. That is this line here. Based on the information provided here, we are asked to calculate TSR. Where is TSR? This angle over here. That is TSR. So the first thing we need to do here, when you look at this diagram, already we have been informed that PQT is an isosceles triangle such that PQ and QT are equal. And by implication, this angle T is also equal to 20 degrees. That is, base angles of an isosceles triangles are equal. So we have 20 degrees here and 20 degrees here. The next thing we need to do is to get angle Q. And how do we do that? Angle, that is PQT. angle PQT is going to be equal to 180 minus angle QPT plus PTQ. That's equal to 180 minus QPT here is this angle which is 20 degrees, while PTQ is this angle which is also 20 degrees. So we are going to have 180 degrees minus 40 degrees, and that's equal to 140 degrees, implying that this angle here is 140 degrees. So we are also told from this part of the sentence that PQR is a straight line, implying that if PQT, which is this angle here, is 140, we need to get this angle TQR. That's TQR. So for us to get TQR, we are going to do 180 minus 140, which is the value of angle PQT there. What's the reason? Angles on a straight line. Angles on a straight line. So 180 minus 140, we have 40 degrees, implying that TQR is equal to 40 degrees. Now that we've gotten this angle, look closely again at this triangle. This is 40 degrees, this is 35 degrees. QSR is not yet known, this angle here, QSR. So for us to get QSR is going to be equal to 180 minus, we'll have this 40 degrees plus this 35 degrees. 35 degrees plus 40 degrees. That is sum of angles in a triangle gives us 180. And since we already know two sides or two angles of this triangle, we need to subtract them from 180 for us to get the angle that is remaining here. So QSR will be equal to 180 minus 35 plus 40, we have 75, and that is equal to 105 degrees. So QSR, which is this angle here, is equal to 105 degrees. Lastly, for us to calculate angle TSR, which was the question asked us, when you look at line TQ, since this is a straight line, we've known this angle here to be 105, and this angle QSR plus TSR will give us 180. So since we already know QSR, we'll subtract this from 180 for us to get TSR. So what we have here is TSR will be equal to 180 degrees minus 105 degrees. That is angles on a straight line also. Angles on a straight line. Such that 180 minus 105 we have 75 degrees as the correct option here, and that corresponds with option C. And before I end this, I just want to show you another way of solving this. Now, when you get two opposite interior angles, their sum will give you the exterior angle. When you look at the angle here, this is the exterior angle, while these two interior angles are opposite to this exterior angle. So the sum of these opposite interior angles equal to this exterior angle. 40 plus 35 will give you that same 75 that we got here as our answer for TSR. In triangle XYZ above, determine the cosine of angle Z. This is JAMB question 1986, number 39. Cosine rule generally is used when two sides and one angle of a triangle is given, so that you are going to calculate the third side, or when all the sides are given to you, so that you'll be able to find any of the angles that you are asked to calculate. So in this case, all the three sides of this triangle has been given to us, and for us to find the cosine of angle Z, we'll be using this formula. Cos Z is equal to, you have the side that is facing angle X here is labeled with small letter X. Then the side that is facing Z here is labeled with small letter Z. While the side facing Y is labeled with small letter Y. That is the side facing angle Y. Coming back to this, cos Z is equal to X squared plus Y squared minus Z squared divided by 2xy. That is cosine rule. With this formula, you can also calculate for the sides by using your change of subject formula. If side X, for instance, is not known and one of the angles is already known, we can use this formula to get side X, and it applies to the rest of these sides and angles. Where the three sides are given, you can be asked to calculate one of the angles or all the angles. Then when two sides are given with one angle, they can ask you to calculate the remaining side or to calculate another angle possibly after you found the third side. So from this formula, let's substitute. Cos Z will be equal to the value of X from this table. We have 6. That is from this triangle. X is equal to 6. So we are going to square it. The next is Y. And Y, according to this diagram, is 3. So we also square it. Then we subtract, and that is a Z raised to the power of 2 also. Z here is 4. So we have 4 squared. Then we'll divide it by 2 multiplied by X, which is 6, multiplied by Y, which is 3. This is equal to 6 squared, we have 36, plus 3 squared, we have 9, minus 4 squared, we have 16, divide by 2 times 6, we have 12, 12 times 3, we have 36. That's equal to 36 plus 9, we have 45 minus 16 over 36, and this is equal to 45 minus 16, we have 29, divide by 36, and this is the simplest version of this fraction, as we can't reduce it further than we have currently. So checking this with the options that we have up here, option B becomes our correct answer. That is 29 over 36. In the figure above, PQR is equal to 60, that is this angle here. QPR is equal to 90 degrees, that is this angle QPR. Also PRS, which is this one, PRS, this angle here is 90 degrees. RPS is 45, RPS is this angle here, that is 45 degrees. Then QR is equal to 8 centimeters. Talking about this line, we have to determine PS, that is this line here. And looking at this quadrilateral, we have two right angles there. One is triangle QPR, the next one is triangle PRS. So when you look at the side that they asked us to find here is for triangle PRS, and the only information here is 45 degrees, which is not sufficient enough for us to calculate side PS yet. So what we will do is to first of all get line PR, in this case using the information provided in triangle QPR. So let's extract that triangle and find the value of PR. This is triangle PQR. This angle is 60 degrees as given. This side QR was given to us as 8 centimeters. So how do we get PR? This is a right angle triangle. So we'll go back to using our trig ratios. So that sine 60 degrees is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. And side PR, which we are looking for, is a side that is opposite to this angle. So we have PR divided by the hypotenuse here is 8 centimeters. Divide this by 1. Cross multiplying for us to get PR, we will have 8 sine 60 degrees. That is sine 60 degrees times 8. PR is equal to, when you punch your calculator, 8 sine 60, you are going to get 6.9282. That is approximately 7 centimeters. But since this is not our final answer, we are not going to approximate it to 7 centimeters. We'll leave it like this. So this side, we have 6.9282. Now that we've gotten side PR, when you look closely at this diagram here, if here is angle 90 and here is angle 45 degrees, it means here too will be angle 45 degrees. How? Sum of angles in a triangle we know is 180 degrees. So if here is 90 plus this 45 here, that is 135. 180 minus 135 will give us 45, implying that this is an isosceles triangle. It's an isosceles triangle where two sides and two angles are equal. So for us to get our PS now, we'll use Pythagoras theorem. So we'll bring this diagram also here. This the second right angle triangle, where this place is P, here is R, and here is S. This is angle 45 degrees, and here too is also 45 degrees. We found PR to be equal to 6.9282, implying that this side too will be 6.9282. So for us to get side PS using Pythagoras theorem, PS is going to be equal to the square root of SR square plus PR square, that is 6.9282, we square it, plus 6.9282, we also square this. PS will be equal to 6.9282. When you square it, we are going to get 47.99995. So approximately at this point we can take 48. The same thing with this one, plus 48. PS will be equal to the square root of 48 plus 48, we have 96, and the square root of 96, we are going to have 9.7979, and it continues. So the approximate value to 4 decimal place here is going to be 9.7980 in centimeters. So that if we are to round this up, we are going to have 10 centimeters for PS. But remember, we are working with respect to the options given to us. And when you look at the options given to us in this question, we have 2 root 3, 4 root 6, 2 root 6, 8 root 6, and 8 centimeters. The only option here that is most appropriate is option B. When you punch your calculator 4 root 6, you are going to have 9.7979, and it continues. Also, when you take the approximate value, that corresponds with what we have here, 9.7980 centimeters, implying that option B here is the correct answer, 4 root 6 centimeters. In triangle XYZ above, XKZ is 90 degrees. That is this angle, SKZ. XK is equal to 15 centimeters. That is this line, XK. XZ is equal to 25 centimeters. That is this line here. And YK is equal to 8 centimeters. That is this line. We have to find the area of the triangle XYZ. This is a JAMB question for 1985. Question number 33. These are the options provided for us to choose from. And looking at the above question, before we can calculate the area of that triangle, we need to get the base of that triangle. Already the height of this triangle is given to us as 15, but the base is not fully known. It's only YK that is known to be 8 centimeters. KZ is not yet known. So we are going to use this right angle triangle to fetch the value of KZ before we can proceed to finding the area of this triangle. So let's begin. From the above triangle, we have this right angle triangle, where this place was given to us as 25 centimeters. This was given to us as 15 centimeters. This is XKZ. So what we are going to find here, let's label it X. That is the value of the unknown here, KZ. So for us to find the value of X, we are going to use Pythagoras theorem. To get this x square is equal to 25 square minus 15 square. That is Pythagoras theorem. So that x will be equal to the square root of 25 square, we have 625. 15 square, we have 225. X will therefore be equal to the square root of 625 minus 225. We have 400. And the square root of 400 is equal to 20. Implying that our kz here is equal to 20 centimeters. Now that we've completed the base of this triangle XYZ, we can proceed to solve for the area. And what's the formula for calculating area of a triangle? Area is equal to half base times height. And from the data given there and as calculated, we have half multiplied by our base now is equal to 8 plus 20. That is the base of this triangle, that is 28. So our base is 28. We multiply this by our height. As given here, we have 15 centimeters. So that we have 28 times 15 giving us 420 divided by 2. 420 divided by 2, we are going to have 210. Remember, we are dealing with square centimeter, so we put squared centimeter. That is a unit. So the option that corresponds with this is option B, that gives us 210 square centimeters.